Joining me live is from the Heart Director, Dean Parkin. Dean, appreciate your time this morning. Why do you think the polls appear to be trending downwards, and are you still confident that you can win?
Yeah, great, Sam. We always knew that this campaign was going to be very difficult. Referendums aren't easy to win. So we knew that the numbers were going to tighten over time. We've also seen that the conversation's been really caught up in the Canberra bubble with politicians and lawyers having their say. Now, thankfully, that process is almost due to end sometime in the next week or so. We would expect that the technicalities, the mechanics of this will finish, and then we'll be able to move the conversation out of the Canberra bubble and into backyards across the country where this campaign belongs. I might also say too, there was actually another poll that was released today, the Essential poll, which showed a different picture. It showed that support had increased marginally to 60%. So we don't get too caught up on analysing individual polls. There'll be plenty of them between now and the referendum. They'll say different things. Our job is very much on making sure that Australians are involved in this conversation and taking it to the community where it belongs.
Well, how important will it be for you to shift the conversation from Canberra, as you just mentioned, into the community once the legislation passes the Parliament?
Well, it's critically important. That's where this referendum will be won, and that's where it belongs. It belongs with the people of Australia. It doesn't actually belong with the politicians. I mean, last week I was out at Barunga in the Northern Territory. There were 200 representatives from Aboriginal people from the most remote communities in our country coming together and saying why constitutional recognition and why the voice was important to them. And that's a common theme. Every time we go out into communities, we've had 500 organisations express their support so far. When you actually get out there into the communities and have the conversation, there's a lot of goodwill, there's a lot of willingness to be involved. That's why it's so important that we take this new phase on and centre the conversation at that community level.
Noel Pearson has said that the Yes campaign is struggling to articulate a clear message. Do you think that's right?
Well, as I say, I think it's been very difficult with a lot of focus in and around sort of the politicians and the lawyers for the last couple of months. Noel's been a passionate advocate for a very long time on this, as have many other people. We're taking on a variety of views. We're taking on a variety of inputs from people that frankly, everybody wants to see this win. We've been focusing very much on saying that this is about constitutional recognition through a voice. And as I said, when I went out there and talked to Aboriginal people from those really remote communities, they were talking about both. They were talking about the unifying opportunity that recognition can provide for all Australians, and they were talking about the practical need for the voice for their communities. So, look, we'll continue to take on those different views, consider those different views, because ultimately, at the end of the day, we just want to get this right and make sure that people have got the right information to make a successful yes decision.
There are reports today that over 500 organisations have come out now in support of the voice. How are you feeling about that?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, these organisations are grounded in their communities. They have members. They do an incredible amount of work, whether it's the sporting codes, whether it's not-for-profits. Multicultural organisations have come out very strongly. Businesses are talking to their employees about this. This is how the actual campaign will unfold between now and the referendum. This is what taking it out of the Canberra bubble and taking it to backyards actually looks like. It means those organisations driving that effort, walking alongside us in alliance as we move closer to the referendum. So it's a fantastic development. There'll be more organisations that will come on board, and we'll just continue to work with them and keep that conversation going.
From the Heart Director, Dean Parkin, appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.